if you want to be wealthy, you got to make sacrifices. I always want to have a passion rise more than I want a pay rise. Today I want to talk to you about how to get wealthy. Now, little bit of a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a wealth generating professional, so I'm just going to be sharing with you my steps, my formula, and what I've done to be able to get to where I am, and hopefully I inspire some of you guys to be able to go out there and do the same thing and have the success and create the wealth that you and your family deserve that you can create. I understand very, very simple, a simple rule that hungry dogs run faster. Meaning that the less you have, the more you want to run. The less success you have, the more you want to run. The less money you have in the bank account, the more you want to run. Meaning that if you don't have much, you want to work hard to get a lot. Imagine yourself, you've got this pot of money, you're doing really well, and then you decide, screw it, and you go to zero. Now, most people would just keep, oh, well, you know what, I'll figure it out. Point number one is use a compound calculator when making buying decisions. I'm gonna let you know this in a minute. Use a compound calculator when making buying decisions. Wealthy people don't sell. Rich people sell. Now, here's the thing. Rich means that you're rich. Wealthy means that your future family will never have to worry about money again. Rich people sell things. What do I mean by that? You buy something for $100, you sell it for $1,000. You buy a stock and share for $1,000, you sell it for $10,000. Make a great profit. Rich people always talk about their profits. Wealthy people keep things. They just keep it and keep it and keep it and keep it and let the compound come into effect. So technically, the mindset you need to have is these Nike trainers aren't $150. When I come to retirement age, they will have cost me $25,000. And the funny thing is, you probably still won't be wearing them when you've retired because they'll be out of fashion or they'll be worn or you won't like them. Or you would have thrown them away or the dog would have chewed on them. So that's mindset number one. So when you're making buying decisions, when you're out at Gucci, at Louis Vuitton, at Prada, at Rolex, at Ferrari, at all these incredible places, just understand how much these things are actually going to be costing you because it's true. It's true. If someone's going to make it, someone's been spending it, right? It's understanding. Point number two is save $3,000 to $5,000. Like first and foremost, like that's the key, right? My first goal financially. You've got debt, who cares? Credit cards, who cares? Mortgage, who cares? Car payments, who cares? Student loan, who cares? Doesn't matter. $3,000 to $5,000. I'm using dollars because it's international currency, right, guys? So if that means it's £2,000 to £3,000, that's what it is. So number one is get used to using the compound calculator when making buying decisions. Most people have already switched off to that because they're just not used to it. Number two is save in between $3,000 and $5,000 US. When you save for a rainy day, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing you'll be all right. And I was like, that's what hit me the most. It wasn't that, saving's bad because of inflation and the bank are going to give you 0.5% and inflation's 5%. You're going to be losing every day. It wasn't that. It was just the fact that I knew, because I'm security led and majority of my family are, was that if something happens, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be able to sleep at night. Compound calculators, number one. Save $2,000 to $5,000 US to have that unexpected fund. Number three. Start paying off the debts. Now, this is where the majority of people, in my opinion, get things a little bit wrong, right? A little bit wrong. So I had debts. I had a student loan, which was my biggest debt, which was, I think, like $10,000. It was about $10,000. I had a credit card debt, was like £5,000. So it's like, let's say $7,000. And I then had loads of little things that I just owed people over the years, like £100 here to a mate, £300 there, £500 there. Maybe a mate had booked a holiday and I'd owed him a few £100. So I made a list of all the debts, and I highly recommend you do the same thing, right? Veronica says she had car problems. That was an unexpected debt. It usually is, isn't it? It usually is. So I made a list of all these things. On my list, there was like 5 or 6. For a lot of you guys, Bev says car broke down, had to fix it. Exactly. It usually happens. Now we don't put that on we don't put that on the compound calculator, do we? But I know it's crazy how it adds up, how expensive cars can be. But a lot of people, they need them. They need them to get to work. They need them to do certain things, and it reduces stress in different ways because you're in control of, leaving when you want to leave and not waiting for a train or standing in the rain. I get that. So I made a list of all these different things, and if you want, you guys can let me know how many things are on your list. You don't need to let me know, obviously, the amount, but like credit card 1, credit card 2, loan, overdraft, mortgage, car payments, credit card 1, sorry, I've already said credit card, owe a friend, owe family, whatever, right? So, now here's what I believe most people get wrong. This is it's just my belief, and this is why I do this, and you can take whatever you want. But most people then order them based on the interest level that they need to pay back. So let's say the credit card debt is at 10% interest or 20% interest. It's probably, a lot of them are a lot higher, aren't they? 20% interest. Payday loans, 37% interest, whatever. And you think, I'm going to pay that off first. In my opinion, or like what I do, is I would pay off the smallest ones first. So if I owe someone 50 quid, that's what I'm doing. I'm paying someone off. I'm paying that 50 quid off. If I owe someone 120 quid, that's it. If I have a credit card for then 300 quid, that's the next and the next and the next. Why? I'm creating small wins that added up to each other is going to create momentum. Now I'm going to feel good. I'm like, oh my God, we don't have 7 debts anymore. We have 6. We don't have 6 anymore. We have 5. We don't have 5 anymore. We've got 4. We got 3. We got 2. Now the only debt we have is our mortgage. Like, oh my God. And what you've done is you've created a habit of, I'm actually good. I'm actually okay with money. Instead of, oh, I don't like money. Money's disgusting. I'm so bad with money. Every time I earn it, I spend it. I've already spent it before I've earned it, right? I get this. So don't worry about, in my opinion, don't worry about, oh my God, my mortgage is my biggest debt. I've got to pay that off first. No. Like, why not pay the little things off first? Fourth thing, we got number 1 is a compound calculator. Number 2 is save an emergency fund or emergency account or pot, whatever you want to call it. Number 3, pay off the smallest debts that you have first. Be very aware of them all. And then I believe, this is what I did, pay off the smallest ones. Point number 4 is then you're going to keep continuing to save and have your good habits to then grow an account where you can live off that account for 3 to 6 months. So if every piece of income was to get wiped out, your full-time job, your part-time job, your side hustle, anything, or everything got wiped out, you could live for 3 to 6 months. So this is what you need to do. You need to be writing a list of things, like all your overheads. If you know, imagine what life's going to be like when I have an emergency pot, so if anything happens unexpected, I'm okay. If I have manageable debt, meaning that I'm paying it off and I'm going through them, I'm sliding through, tick, 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 and I've got this fund where if the worst thing happened, I'd be all right for 3 to 6 months, which would give me enough time to be able to get up to that income, whether it's find another job, start a side hustle, whatever. How would your stress levels be? Because another level of stress will come in when you work, and you don't feel like you're getting the rewards, right? You're risking your time, your energy, your money, but you're not seeing the rewards. So that's why we have to invest in ourselves to get better, invest in our family and ourselves to make this felt really good. I want to do this every night. I want to do this every day. I want to do this every week. And then obviously we need to grow that pot. So that's the 4th part. The 5th part, in my opinion, the 5th one is the hardest of them all. And again, majority of people will probably switch off. They'll probably turn off. They'll probably think, I'm not doing that. And it's to make better choices. And the reason why I tell you this is, as I mentioned in the compound calculator, the choices that you make with the things that you're buying is what's going to accelerate the wealth process. But then people are like, oh, you've got to live. I know you got to live, but you got to make tough choices. This is the step that I skipped for so long. Until one day I was like, screw it, I'm cancelling these silly subscriptions that I've got. I'm saying no to my friends 3 out of 4 times. I'm selling the car. And yeah, it became boring. But if you look to my life now, is it boring? Nope. And then the last step, number 6, is to invest a percentage of your income into the stock market. And again, this is what I do, right? Every month, stock market income, a percentage. The percentage depends, but I would do like minimum like 10%. And again, right now you're thinking I can't do it, but I've already told you the steps. Compound calculator, get to understand how much things actually cost. $2,000 to $5,000, kind of a unexpected fund. Pay off the smallest debts. Grow that lifestyle fund, that 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, so that you can sleep at night a little bit more. Then make better choices, and then obviously invest. You might not be at that level yet, but by just investing $5, $10, $20, $50, $100 a month, and again, you're not going to be a pro. There's loads of books you can read. Tony Robbins has got a really good. If you're based in the US, Tony Robbins has got a really good one. Money Mastering the Game. I think it's Money Mastering the Game is what it's called. Money Mastering the Game. One of my favorite financial books of all time is The Richest Man in Babylon. Absolutely love that book. You can read some of these, but I just basically go and invest in the S&P 500. In the UK, some of the money I invest in the FTSE 100, which is the top 100 in the UK, companies in the UK. But again, I'm not good at this game. I'm good at consistency, but I'm not good at finding the best stocks. And I'm not trying to be. I just go, well, that one is the top 100, that one is the top 500. Do I think they're going to be big in the years to come? Yes. Alternatively, you could go at all the companies that you use every single day. I use Netflix every single day, Facebook every single day, Google every single day, Amazon every single day, Apple every single day. If you think they're going to be long-term, great, go for them, right? It's not necessarily doing these things that's going to make you wealthy, but it's creating the habits that's going to make you wealthy.